Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing amazing this afternoon. I'm just going to give a few more seconds before we start the session because I can see there are so many joining us on the call today. This is amazing. So, yeah, I'll just give a few more seconds and then we'll begin. Oh, this is nice. I can see there are a lot more joining. Okay, but let me not wait any further because we have a lot to cover in our webinar today. So, just to introduce myself, my name is Niti, and I'm the Career Services Manager at ElevateMe Bootcamp. For me, it's always very exciting when I see so many international students join us each week, even on a Friday afternoon. And as you all know, these webinars are held every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And we look forward to supporting international students on their job search journey. And it's so humbling when we see the numbers grow, week on week. So today I have Prachit Shah joining us for the webinar. Prachit currently works
Hey
as
guys.
the Hi, Prachit. So Prachit currently works as the operations manager at ElevateMe. And in today's session, we're going to be talking about the data analytics and machine learning course that we offer, along with the newly launched fast track course, which is very exciting. So hi, Prachit, and welcome to the webinar. Really excited to have you here.
Hey, Niti, thank you so much for inviting me today. Equally excited to be here.
Okay, awesome. So before we move into the discussion, just want to call out and let everybody know that we do have the Q&A window open on this webinar. So if you've joined us via Zoom, please feel free to put in your questions, any questions you have as we are discussing in the Q&A window. And if you've joined in from our YouTube link, you can leave it on the comments and we'll pick it up from there. So let's get started without taking further time. So Prachit, it would be amazing if you could just tell us a little about yourself and what is it that you exactly do at Elevate Me.
Sure, Niti, thank you so much for introducing yourself and let me introduce myself. Guys, my name is Prajit Shah. As Niti already shared, I was an international student once, came from India, and I did my master's in computer science from SUNY. It's a wonderful university in upstate New York. My location was in Utica, that's again in upstate New York. And after that, I started my first job as a business analyst, again in New York. And then back in 2019, actually, Shani, our CEO, invited me to start working with him. And I found this wonderful opportunity to work with international students. And since then, since 6 years now, I have been closely involved with Shani in helping international students find their career, find their job here in the US. And so this is wonderful that I have started working with ElevateMe. Again, a branch that we focus on helping international students in finding their job in the US in IT. So that's about me. Back to you, Nidhi.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that with all of us, Prachit. So let's get into the main topic of discussion today, right? So it's all about the various courses that we offer on the bootcamp. So could you just start off by talking to us about what exactly are the different kind of courses that we have on the bootcamp?
Sure. So Nidhi, we have two type of courses. One is a regular DAML course that is 8 months. So actually the course is not 8 months, but we support those students for 8 months, and which is more than enough for international students to actually learn, ethically add experience in their resume, and then do all the practice of how to crack interviews, do mock rounds of interviews, mock rounds of calls, and those calls are vendor calls, recruiter calls, HR calls. then do several rounds of mock interviews that includes technical training, behavioral training, all the training, interviews. And then actually we help them until they actually land the job in that program. That program, we specifically hire students 5 months before their graduation. So this helps them to prepare their resume, build their GitHub portfolio, build their online presence, their LinkedIn profile, and an experience and a legit ethical experience on their resume. And then we help them score a job in the US. And then what we do is we do 100+ applications every single day, 100+ applications on major US platforms, job platforms, all major US job platforms, 100+ applications a day for all more than 4 months. And that is more than sufficient for a student who actually has learned through us and has built a wonderful portfolio on GitHub, LinkedIn, everything, online presence, and plus doing 100+ applications. And we make sure that we teach the students so nicely for their career coach, for the technical round, that they would be probably able to crack their first or second interview. But we usually see that students usually end up getting fourth or fifth interview. So this is more than sufficient timeline. This is the first program I was talking about. We have second program where we, right? So that program is called Fast Track, as Neeti said. That program is specifically designed for the students who are actually already graduated or about to graduate. They can't wait 5 months. All international students, they have to start getting their job because they have this OPT time clock on their head and always click, click, click. So what we do is we start both simultaneously. So one side they start as soon as they enroll with us. What we do is we start their career track and the technical track side by side. In technical track, our technical mentor, Mr. Archit, he is also present on the call, not available on the video right now, but he will be joining with us soon. He starts his career track, guys. He helps you to work on real-time projects. I'm talking about not regular projects that you just find online and start working on it. These are a real-time project which is currently being used by Fortune 500 companies. That project, we give it to you and we give you requirement to work on top of it. So we give you requirement, whether it's each day, each week, and it depends on when you get your requirement done, you can get back to our technical mentor. They train you, they help you with everything, solve your doubts. You might have questions. You might have done a way that might be not be professional enough or might not be suitable for the companies or in professional environment. It was fine in your college, but it might not be fine in your professional environment. So he will exactly guide you how to help and build that real-time project. So without getting a job, you are actually getting a professional training where every morning you wake up, you join the meeting, stand-up meeting, where you are given a requirement, you discuss what are you working on and how can you solve these things. All that is being built for your resume. And on side, we start your job placement process where, like I said earlier, we train you for your calls, HR calls, recruiter call, vendor call, and then we train you for your mock interviews and start your job process hunting again right away. And that is again 100+ applications a day for continuously 5 months. And this comes with 100% money back guarantee, which comes with 100% money back guarantee. Either we get you an offer letter or we give you your money back. So it's a win-win for student. And this is a wonderfully designed course. We have worked very hard. We have talked to several international students that what exactly they are looking for, what exactly would fit them, what will be ideal for them. And that's how we have designed these two courses.
Oh,
I
wow,
hope
that
I answered your
sounds
question.
No, I'm sure it does. That was a lot actually, because it looks like both of the courses are very similar to each other. There are a lot of components which are similar. So there is a career coaching, there is a mentoring, like you mentioned, that 100+ applications per day. So there's that very hands-on support that the students get from the course.
Mhm.
But at the same time, both the courses are structured very differently. I think to meet the specific students' requirement. Now, in the end, you kind of mentioned that you've spoken to several international students, right?
Mhm.
And you wanted to understand what were their challenges. And the course was developed in that way. So the next question I have is, while you
So,
work
sorry
curating.
to cut you off, Neil. I
Yeah,
would
sure.
like to highlight that challenge part, right? That you
Yes,
mentioned.
exactly.
So see, Nidhi, what happens is this international students, I mean, I
Mm.
shouldn't say internet, I was an international student once, right?
Yeah, you know
So,
what it is.
right, so what we face is we have seen our seniors going into a consultancy.
Right.
Now that
Mhm.
consultancy gives you an ease at beginning, that they say that, hey, you don't need to worry about OPT, we give you an offer letter here, right?
Right.
They put you 7, 8 like put 7, 8 years of experience on your resume and then
Right.
get you a job, right? These are the challenges. I mean, we will discuss later on why you should avoid that, and guys, this would be the must see video, that why you should
Mhm.
definitely stay away from these things. It would be an eye opening for you guys. Back to you.
Okay. Okay. Got it. So that was a good point because yeah, as an international student, you know exactly what are the options available out there, most of the case, and the challenges that is there. Okay, so you said that you've spoken to, now just coming back to the previous point that you had mentioned, said that you've spoken to a lot of international students before you designed the course. So while you were curating or designing the course, what were the problems that you were trying to solve for these international students?
Okay. So main thing was um we are trying to help international students to get a job that is 100% ethical, a full-time job, and build their career on a right track starting day one. This were our vision, right?
Right.
So first thing that I'm gonna talk about is the consultancy that I was
Mm.
talking about earlier. So the
Right.
consultancy issues these students are facing, like no one in the US for some reason is discussing these challenges. I have seen hundreds and
Mhm.
hundreds and thousands of articles that are on news, but no one in
Yeah.
actual media or anyone is covering this topic, which is very essential for
Mm.
international students, because I see more than 300, 400,000 students come every single
Mm.
year, which is a big deal, right? I mean, think
Yeah,
about
yeah,
this, over 10 years, it is almost 2, 3 million students. Now, these
exactly.
international students, when they are coming here, they get this ease from consultancy that, hey, I will give you an offer letter. Okay, it's an unpaid offer letter, but we are, as a company, we can give you an offer letter and you are fine as a clock. So what they are doing is they are marketing in a way that, hey, we are not gonna charge you, plus we're gonna give you this much pay, we will divide 70, 30, and all that, and then we add 70, 80, 7, 8 years of experience on your resume. But there are multiple challenges here that I'm gonna talk about right away.
Mm.
So two challenges. One, legal issue, and other is monetary issues, right?
Mm. Mm.
And this is why we all came to US, right? To
Yeah.
stay here, get a nice American dream life, and live American dream, right? And second issue is make money, right? No one
Yeah.
wants to leave their family just to be in a different country which has
Of
big
course.
skyscrapers, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
not just about the dreams; it's about living here, right? And you need money, right?
Mm.
So let's start with monetary, right? Monetary
Mm.
challenges, as an international student, I'm making less than 400, 300. If I'm making any penny, I'm making
Mm.
three, $400, $500 a month, which is sufficient for me. And now
Mm.
this consultancy offers me $60,000. Okay. They say it's 70-30, but it's never 70-30 because they don't need to oblige for the invoice, but that's okay. That's a different story. We don't care about that. What we care
Mm.
about is an international student is offered $60,000.
Mhm.
Now this student, $60,000 is $5,000 a month. Right now, the
Month. Right.
student is making 500, $1,000 maybe a month, and now suddenly making 5,000, they think
5,000.
it's a very good money, right?
Yeah.
So remember, I freshly graduated or I'm about to graduate, 60,000 would be a big deal for me.
Yeah.
But now think about this. every year your pay goes up by 5%, 4% on average in the US, maybe maximum 10%, right?
Yeah.
Starting with 60,000. After 5 years, I have several friends who are stuck with consultancy, making $110,000, which $110,000 sounds very big right now compared to IT, and compared to what the today market rate is, that is not a big amount. Again, let me correct, it's not a big amount. It
Okay.
still is a good, decent
I think it's
money.
a fairly good amount, but there's more potential. I think that's what you're trying to.
After 5 to 7 years, if you are in full-time job, you are easily making 250, $300,000 if you are in a full-time job, right? Especially if you are in data science, machine learning, AI,
Yeah.
people are making that, right? But these are all full-time. Now,
Right.
the challenge is students think that it's okay, I will get a job in consultancy once and keep applying on side for a full-time job. Once I get a full-time job, I will move there, right? Here's the challenge. You can't leave consultancy. It's not possible. I tell you simple reason, right? The 7, 8 years of fake experience that your consultancy has joined. Sometimes it might be 3 years, sometimes it might be 5 years. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I
Okay?
think that varies. Yes.
Yeah, that varies, right? The thing is, in US, you need to clear your background, right? Background
Yeah.
clearance to get a different job. First thing. Second thing is, when you are applying for your STEM OPT, okay, in that you need to give your resume. Okay.
That's
You
right.
need to tell USCIS what was your previous experience,
What you
and you
done.
need to attach a resume. And that goes on your I-20. Now, the thing is, your company collects I-20. They do collect I-20, okay? And either you lie to your company or either you lie to your USCIS. Some students might, if you get a full-time job and you are somehow clearing background check, then the problem starts. That resume would follow you lifetime because you are filing that resume mandatorily in STEM OPT. Now you can't change your resume overnight when you're applying for H1. When you're applying for a green card, you can't change your resume, right? So you are stuck with that resume, and every time you need to do something, you are stuck with that consultancy. So it's a chain that consultancy takes, that, okay, I will get 10 students, I will place maybe 2, 3 students, and then milk that students for years to come. And these consultancies make $200,000, $300,000 per student for almost 5, 6 years, right?
So
So it's
they're
a,
the one who actually kind of benefits about with the whole, the way the
obvious.
system is designed, isn't it? Okay.
This is completely wrong. Consultancies, I mean, if consultancy is very good money, that's the thing. I have worked with a consultancy before. That's why every person here is opening their own consultancy, because if they get one student, right, and they place them, they are making fortune. They are
Right.
making a fortune. They are making almost like a second job doing nothing. It's a fortune they are making. And this
All they need to do is
introduce.
just find international students who are really keen to get a job. That's it, is it?
Correct, right?
Yeah.
And that resume, remember, will follow you for life. You can't just escape that resume. There is no way you can escape the resume. It would always say on your USCIS profile, it will always say on I-20. The monetary side is number one, right?
Yeah.
Second side is legality. Right? So legality is the challenge. Every year, 6 to 7 thousand students get deported, right?
Yeah.
If the
That's the stats, yes.
that's the sad news, right? Money wise, you can do something else. Maybe you can survive in $100,000, 90,000, negotiate with your consultancy or something. But legality wise, the challenge lies where I said that, because you're telling something else to your company, telling something else to USCIS, and that's when the challenge starts, right? Many of these consultancies end up getting blacklisted. That's the hard reality. Students can literally go and Google it. many consultancies end up getting blacklisted. So if today the consultancy is fine, your after 10 years, suddenly I have seen hundreds of students. After 10 years, they are traveling to US, coming back, the consultancy asking, CBP, that is Border Patrol, asking them that, hey, why is this company listed on your profile? This company is blacklisted, you can't travel to the US. And this challenge comes after 10 years. Now, let's say I am living happily, I have a wife, I have kids, I have bought a house, everything that I came here for, and suddenly I'm traveling to any country or India, wherever I'm going and coming back, and I'm getting stuck at the airport. And this is everywhere online. The problem is the students are looking right now for a shortcut that, hey, consultancy will give me an offer letter and I will be happy. They would market my profile and somehow get. And if everything is utopia, okay, everything works out perfectly. You get too much money, you get too much legal, you don't get any legal issues over many years to come. The challenge, what third challenge is? It's a contract position, right? Consultancies are not offering a full-time job. Consultancies offer a C2C job. Now think about this. I am working here today. Suddenly my manager comes and tells me that, hey, the contract is over. Now I have to go back to that consultancy that, hey, now find me a job. Now I am on H1. Remember, I'm on H1 or STEM OPT. I have to have job or I have to go back to my home country within 60 days. I need a job. Now I'm never gonna get a job in 2 months, right? If it was that easy, everyone would have found a job.
Yeah, now, especially in today's job market, it's a lot more challenging than before.
Right. Even if the job market is good, no student was actually C2C jobs are not like full-time jobs. Only 20% jobs in the market are consultancy jobs, the contract jobs.
Right.
Okay. So the challenge starts where I have bought a house, I'm having a family, kids, everything here, let's say in Columbus, and then suddenly contract ends. Now my consultancy tells me that, hey, you need to either generate payroll or go back to home country. I won't go back to home country. So I start generating payroll. The consultancy will show it's a home project, but they are not gonna pay me because I don't have a client. I mean, I don't have a job. So what happens here is, I have to pay their consultancy, they generate a payroll, government takes out taxes. So you have to pay $2,000, $3,000 every single month in taxes just to live here until you find a job. And now, because you have family to feed, mortgage to pay, car loan to pay, you have no other option. If I get a job tomorrow in San Jose, I'm in Columbus right now, I have to move to San Jose. Now I have everything settled up here. Right. And contract jobs keeps on changing. You would have to move everywhere in the US unless you are lucky enough to get a remote. But now there are no remote jobs available. So consultancies. So this was the first challenge that we wanted to avoid at all costs. That, hey, we don't want to do a contract job. We want our students to get a full-time job. And second thing was the legal and monetary issue. In full-time job, what happens is they give you a moving bonus, almost $5,000-7,000. They give you a bonus every year of some stock bonus. If company is not publicly listed, they give you this. So it's a totally opposite world. If you go to anyone in the US who is working in IT and ask them, hey, should I get a contract job and for a full-time job? They would tell you that you should get a full-time job. But the students the consultancies are the challenge where they are offering things that, hey, I will do it for free and I will do this and I will do that. And that's where the student gets attracted. So we wanted to stay away from that contract jobs.
Yeah, no, that sounds so appealing, right? And there is lesser effort, I guess, when it comes to these consultancies. It looks like there's so much being added to the resume, which feels like a big deal, especially when you're in as an international student and you're trying to get the job and the job market requires work experience. Okay, so that was a lot of useful insight, Prajit. Thanks a lot for sharing that with all of us. So I'm gonna move now. Okay, let's move out from what the market is and how consultancies are and all. I think it's fairly established on how consultancies work. I'm sure a lot of these international students, even those who are here on the webinar with us, they would have had a lot of calls from consultancies. I'm sure they're kind of aware of how they target students, international students, especially in the final semester and those who have graduated. It's just that they're not probably aware of what happens on the inside and how consultancies are benefiting out of the whole thing. And the entire challenges, like you said, the complete relocation, the fact that they'll always have to depend on the consultancy in the future. There's a lot of challenges there. So I want to just pull back a bit and talk a little about now when you were speaking about the courses that's offered on the bootcamp here. You did speak about the live project. Now, live project is something that we don't usually hear, nor in the what do you say, consultancy space, nor in the bootcamp space, right? So, can you talk a little more about how this live project works and why it's important for the students and how they can benefit out of this?
Sure, that's a very important question, right?
Yeah.
You companies in US, what they want is some kind of experience,
Mm.
okay, or some kind of certification.
Mm.
So what we did was we try to offer, in fact, we do offer both things. Okay.
Mm.
So these students, we offer them live project for a specific task that, hey, it feels like a professional environment. These students, they come out of very theoretical background, especially their home
Mm.
country.
Right.
Any country out of US, they are more focused
Correct,
on
correct.
theory. Alright.
Mm.
So they are when they are very minimum on coming to a practical skills,
Mm. Mm.
and they're even less in professional skills,
Mm.
right?
Mm. Mm.
So what we have tried to cover is if we offer them a real company scenario simulation environment where
Right.
we are giving them a project of a real company that is a Fortune 500 company, and they start building the requirements on top of it.
Mm.
Now, imagine a student who has only theoretical knowledge, maybe watch some Coursera videos and YouTube and all that, and did
Mm.
some courses on Udemy. And compared to that, you are already doing that with us. And on top of that, you are actually being assigned, okay, you are actually being assigned tasks
Mm.
uh, to work on, requirements to work on your technology, right? So this is day and night difference. Because
Right. Right.
if let's say I always take example of sports, right? No matter how
Mm.
much you are taught how to play sports, or your coach has perfected you, you have watched all the videos until you actually go out and play that game in that heat and then realize the challenge that the other people are throwing at you. That's only when you actually get the real like practical skills. So this is how we have designed our real-time project, right? And
Right.
we are proudly saying that we are the only company that offers international students certification. Now, any student
That's,
can go and get certification, right? But
mm.
our certification is different. Why? Because this certification is based on what you have learned through us on a real-time simulation environment for the Fortune 500 company project. And we are accredited from State Board of Ohio Career Colleges and Schools. So what happens here is now you can actually go and show your hiring manager that, hey, this is what, and
Right.
you would be like, if by yourself you are 30-40% there, with us you would be 70-80% there. And for companies who are hiring people who with 1 years or less experience, 70-80% is actually more than enough. You would be the most outstanding student of all the people who applied for the job.
No, that sounds really exciting. Thanks a lot. And yeah, it carries a lot more weightage, isn't it? Simply because it's accredited as well. Okay, awesome. So another thing that you spoke about is, the career services support. You were talking about the 100 applications a day and all of that. So if you could just detail a little more on what this entire career services as, in a whole, what does it look like? So what kind of support is offered to the students?
Sure, very important question. career services, we have two branches in career services. One is your career coaching and one is your job applications. I, let's talk about career coaching first. I always tell students one thing, you would have heard 100 times of my mouth. I will keep repeating that until you get the job, your soft skills matter 20%, your technical skills matter 80%. But
That's right.
after you get a job, your soft skills matter 80%, your technical skills matter 20%. This is the hard reality of any professional corporate environment. If you work hard 3 months, keep up doing applications, thousands and thousands of applications every week, and then you get a job, you are so happy, you are throwing party and telling your parents and planning how you're gonna spend money, and then you suddenly realize after 10 days of job, you actually get laid off. Not a good thing to go through. So
That's
career
right.
coaching is the most important skill a student should learn. You need to know how to dress up, you need to know how to talk, you need to know how to communicate, you need to know how to network. You need to, well, I shouldn't say politics, but you need to know whom to talk about what, how to present yourself, what credit you should take, what credit you should not take, how to negotiate. You can actually negotiate, right? Michelle is here. She has told this earlier.
Yes.
You can go and watch the older videos on our YouTube link. Very important skills. Some companies they would say no, that hey, we're not gonna sponsor your visa, right? How to negotiate that?
Yeah.
Right? All these soft skills are so much important. And the first part is that we are never taught these skills, right? Worst part is when you come here to US, we have no family. Most of people, we don't have family here, and we need that moral support. We don't even know what we should ask. We don't know, like, if we are not mentally prepared, we always think that, hey, what if I don't end up getting a job? So we need that backing, we need that moral support, we need that career support. And that's why Michelle is here, the first part of our career coaching. And second is our job application team, the great job application team, very important for any students to success. So any student who is gonna go through that, we take care of applications, we take care of your online portfolio building, we take care of your calendar. We remind you that, hey, you have an interview coming up. You need to do this, you need to do this, you need to learn this, you need to go through this. So we do all that. All you gotta do is focus on what your technical mentor is giving you and your interviews. That's all you need to focus on. And that too, we would have taught you already that how to give interview, what to say, what not to say, and how to crack those interviews. So this makes their life so much easier with that moral support and that career support that it's tremendous difference from what a person would go through in any other scenario compared to what they would go through in ElevateMe.
Oh, that's awesome. Because I worked in a boot camp before and we've never, I mean, like I've never heard of a boot camp offering such a service, so it's amazing to see. And one of the biggest challenges that we did face, especially when we were supporting students in their job search, was that they were not able to manage the technical project and the job search simultaneously. It was always a challenge for them. Just to find even that 1 hour a day to do their job search because they have so much to do and cover on the projects. It was just such a challenge. So I'm sure this is something that would, I mean, really benefit the students who join the program. Awesome. So thanks a lot for elaborating on that as well, Pratchett. So I know we've spoken about a lot about what the boot camp offers, how the services are kind of very tailor-made to the requirements of the student, understanding what their need is. We've spoken about how it's very unique in nature as compared to other boot camps, especially in the market. So if there is a student who is enrolled, who's keen on enrolling, like what does that process look like? How are they supposed to enroll for the boot camp?
Sure. To enroll, all you gotta do is go on elevatemE.pro. The website is somewhere in the background of VT. And if someone asks the question, I'll also type it down for you guys. So again, it's elevatemE.pro, PRO. And there is an apply now button right on the top of top right corner. You just go there. You take a test. So the test is a pre-enrollment test. It's a very basic SQL, Python, couple of questions of that and behavioral test. It takes maybe 45 minutes, 35 minutes, 45 minutes, depending on your capability. Take your time. I would suggest you, in some questions, you are even free to do Google or search for Reddit or wherever you are searching for your daily task. Um, this test is done for students to see that, hey, if DML is meant for that, right? Because um, like I always say, test is very important for joining ElevateMe. That let's say if I'm a really good batter, but someone has told me to go and start bowling, I might do pretty bad, right? Because and people can't judge me based upon that. So not every program is made for everyone. So some people might be very good in managerial role, or some might be very good in business analytics compared to DA or ML. So that's why it's very important for us and them to determine that, hey, this course is actually made for them and they should proceed further. If they end up passing the test, which if you know basics of computer science, a little bit of SQL or behavior, it's very easy to crack. So it's, I won't even call it test, it's like very 8 7 8 questions, right? So if you end up passing that, which most students do, then what you do is you schedule a test, a call with our technical mentor, Archit Garg, our career coach, Michelle Licata, and our career services manager, which is Nidhi herself. And you discuss. It's a one, I won't call it one-on-one round, but we want to meet you. We want to see your capabilities. We want to assess you. And same thing we expect from the students to do that same thing, that, hey, are they really going to be useful for me? Will they really be able to help me to achieve my goal and achieve what I'm actually looking for? If everything works well, then they can actually reach out, or our enrollment team will reach out to you guys. And some of our admissions manager will be in contact with you already, and they will reach out to you again. And then that's it. You will be enrolled in ElevateMe.
Awesome. Okay, I'm just going to pause here. I can see that a lot of questions that's already come into the Q&A section, which is nice. So there is one question that's coming here. I understand there might be some students who are here on the webinar and are not able to continue for too long because there are other commitments. So a question that I can see that's coming from two different learners is, what's the cost of the program? So they're very keen to understand, okay, they understand what the offerings are. If you could just speak about what the cost is as well.
Sure. So our costing for the fast track program of DAML is $9,999. Again, it's $9,999. But understanding that you are an international student, we have offered deferred payments. Different payments, if someone is not aware about, I will just let you know that you don't have to pay anything. The upfront cost is minimal, like maybe $500, and we are flexible for that. We understanding international students might not have that much money. And then you don't pay anything until 8 months, which is more than enough for you to find a job. So it's a very minimal upfront payment, that is $500 to start with. And then you don't pay a penny for 8 months. And then your first payment start at 9th month. And then you can split actually your payments in 24 installments, which I usually people end up paying earlier, but it's up to you how many payments you want to split. So, and if student is gonna be trained by us, I can give 100% that they would not take 8 months to find a job. But even if they do take 8 months to find a job, they don't have to pay a penny until 9 months. So it's a deferred payment, and that comes with, again, money back guarantee. If you don't find a offer letter, you get your paycheck, whatever you paid us. Not it's not a paycheck, right? You get the payment that you made to us back in your bank account. So it's a win-win for you, win-win for us. If you find a job, then it's win for us. If not, then it's just for no one. But anyway, so the cost is 9,999. If you have any question on top of it, you can please go ahead.
Okay, perfect. No, I think that answers. I hope it's an anonymous person who's put in, but I hope that answers your question. If there's any further questions, please, everybody who's here on the call, put it up on the Q&A window. If you've joined us via YouTube, you can put it up on the comment section and we'll pick it up from there. Okay, so let's
So,
continue, right? You were
Niti,
yeah.
I want to answer this question that I read, Harsh Saxena's question.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah, I can see that.
can I go ahead with that answer, or do you want me
Yeah,
to
yeah,
wait
yeah, you
until?
can, for sure, yes.
Okay. So he has asked that you do not take money, any kind of money from job seekers. There are some fake companies being in India asking for money, job seekers for job placement and training. Okay, guys. So very important, do your due diligence. Do not pay. It's not about just elevate me. Do not pay to anyone in ever in your career or in your life without doing any due diligence. If you think that company is fake, or if you have any doubt, do some research, reach out to people, ask questions, go to Google, research about that company. You will be able to find more than enough scenarios if that company is actually a scam. Um, we have in our website, if you go to ElevateMe.pro, we have attached our certification of vast debate of career colleges. If you go all the way down in the pricing part, you would, or in the refund clause also, you would find the state board's grievance. You can always text them, email them. They actually now accept fax and everything, that you can reach out to the government with the state board of Ohio and always confirm that, hey, if ElevateMe is a real company, and if government says so, we would be probably a real company. So you always do your due diligence, not just with us, with any where you pay the penny. So just wanted to answer that. So because I understand, Niti, that there are many companies out there who are actually saying that we will find a job, collect money, and then disappear. So
Okay, I can see there are more questions coming in, but before we kind of move into that, there is an important, very important question that I would wanna kind of have you address, because you were speaking about the 100% money back guarantee.
Mhm.
So if you could just speak a bit more about how that works, Rajat.
Sure. So in the money back guarantee, we have
Hmm.
this is when you enroll with us, first of all, if you take a deferred payment, you would have not even paid us a penny for 8 months, right? So
Right.
it's very easy. But if you have, let's say if you have paid everything, or you have taken another plan, you have very many plans where we take bigger upfront. If it's up to student, it's not like we take, it's up to student what they want to pay, right?
Hmm.
So how it works is when they enroll with us, they do all the services, everything. Uh,
Mhm.
we have a wonderful PDF. You can reach out to our advisor, or whoever you are in contact with our team. They would give you this PDF. It's a wonderful PDF to understand the detail. I'm not gonna go in bits and pieces of that, but the main part is that we do all the applications. We show you how to apply. So you also work on your side. We keep doing our career services track. We get you the resume ready. We get your portfolio ready. Everything is done by them, done by us. But
That's yeah.
even after that, you don't end up getting a job simply. It's not based on resume, it's not based on anything. It's if you don't end up simply getting a job, we get your money back. And there is one more clause that says that if we continue your marketing and our career services track, if you get a job that is less than $50,000 or is not helping you with your visa, the required visa, don't want to go into details, it would take all day,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if you, that are the clauses, so it's a very good money back guarantee, so it's a win-win again, like I keep saying, for students.
Okay, thank you so much for elaborating on that. So, since you mentioned it's a money back guarantee, and since it is a guarantee, so is there any form of agreement or contract or something that the students have to sign in?
Sure. Since we are, guys, remember, like if you are studying from any university, let's say you are studying from California State University at Los Angeles, right?
Mhm.
That is gonna be a main center of that university, right? They are gonna force the location in LA to work in certain ethics, certain limitations, right? Just like that, we are controlled. Obviously, our education system is controlled by the State Board of Ohio. They make you sign enrollment agreement, which is actually good for you guys, where everything is clarified. It's a very small but in detail agreement where refund process is mentioned, money back guarantee process is mentioned, then how
Right.
to enroll, what happens if they don't end up paying paying, sorry, attending the classes. So everything is mentioned in that agreement. So there is an enrollment agreement. There is a job placement agreement. Like when we start the job placement agreement, they would have to sign that. Again, not gonna go in detail, just clarifying what we are looking from students and what students should be looking further from our side. And then there is money back guarantee. What I said, our enrollment officer is also gonna offer you that agreement if you're looking for the simple agreement, if you guys want to go through it.
Okay, awesome. I know we are kind of running short on time, and there is a lot of questions that's pouring in now. So what I'm going to do is I'll wrap up. This is the last question I have for you, Prajit, and then later we can move to the Q&A section with the students as well. So you spoke about the payment, right? The fees payment that the students are supposed to do. And there are options in the market currently where students can pay for the course once they get a job, like when they actually have a job in hand. So is that offered on the course? And if not, why?
So, maybe like I said, right, we have to work in certain limitations, and that's why understanding that we need very small $500, right? $500 when it might be a big for international students is actually quite affordable because you don't have to pay a penny for next 8 months, right? So if you get just your resume done with your GitHub portfolio, $500 is enough, but we do everything that in $500, and then you have a different payment option that you pay rest $9,500 after 8 months, right? I mean, it is exactly what it sounds like. If you,
Right.
if any other company, as soon as you get a job, you start paying, right? With us, if you get a job after 3 months, you don't have to pay for the next 5 months. So, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a different payment. You don't pay anything until you actually get a job. And most of the students would more than likely, not more than likely, if they don't get a job in 8 months, they should start asking some questions to the people and themselves.
Got it. No, because I understand that there's just so much of support system to ensure the student gets the job. So yeah, and I'm sure with the career coach constantly tracking them, there will be a lot more in-person direct discussions with the coach so that any grievances, anything can be managed. And the coach has experience of having placed students in the past, so that should not be an issue. Perfect. So thank you so much for answering all these questions that we had in mind. Pratchett, it was amazing having you with us. So I guess what we can do now is we can quickly move to the Q&A section. And before doing that, I just want to introduce our technical mentor, Archit. He's here on the call with us. We also have our career coach, Michelle. Hi, Archit. Hi, Michelle. Really happy to have you join us today.
Hi Niti, hi Rachit. Hi
Hey,
Michelle.
Arch.
Hi, Archit. Hi, Nidhi. Hi, Pratchett. So wonderful to be here again. Thank you for having us.
The pleasure is ours, Michelle and Marcy. Thank you for joining us.
Perfect. So I can see that there are these questions that's come up. Well, the first question that we have here is, I can see that there is one of these students who has mentioned that he or she, they've taken the test, but unfortunately they've failed the test with us. So, but they're still very keen on joining the boot camp, right? They're very interested in joining the boot camp. So is there a way they could still try to join the boot camp? So that's the first question we have.
So very good question. Yes, you can take test again, but if you actually just blindly go again and give the test, you might expect the same results. So if I was at your place, what I would do is I would go back in the time, see what questions I did really bad in, and actually work on little bit research on that and just study a little bit, right? I mean, at the end of the day, guys, failure is the part of success. And no one is gonna get job in their first interview. You're gonna fail in interviews as well. You're gonna fail in technical assessment in companies also, right? So we want our students, right? If they are not able to do good, just learn that where they did bad, take week or 15 days. If you really think this program is worth waiting, then take your time, go through everything, learn what you did bad in, and next time come a little bit prepared. We are not expecting you to be 100% right. If you were 100%, you wouldn't need this course, right? So just learn basics, and then you can also talk to our admission advisor that, hey, how can I overcome this? Is there something, is there any course, are there certain
Right.
videos? And this is free of charge. You don't have to pay anything, right? I mean, until you actually enroll. So it's worth a while to invest your time, learn some things. It will help you in long run, and then try to take test again. And best of luck. That's what I would say.
Okay, perfect. I hope that answers your question. Unfortunately, we're not able to see the name here. Okay, there's another question that's come in, which says, is it possible for me to join the boot camp or the course to see if it's meant for me and enroll later? Like, is that something that can be done?
When it can't be done, but I can understand everyone would have their doubts.
Mhm.
State Board of Ohio, which ElevateMe represents, gives a week money back guarantee. Sorry, wrong. It's not money back guarantee, it's refund. So if you go through our refund clause, you would even find that in our website, or you can always ask our admissions advisor. If you enroll with us, and if you think after a week, until a week, you think that this course is not meant for you, or we are not able to help you out in the way that you were looking for, you can always write to us and get 100% money back, and then you won't owe us anything. So it's well, in a way, it is what you are looking for. In a way, it's not. But I hope I answer your question.
Perfect. I hope that answers your question as well. There are a couple of other questions. Let me just quickly go through the questions here. 1 second. So here's the question. If a person has a STEM extension in the next 6 months, how would you guys help? I think help in that if he did not get any job in the 6 months while working with you?
Very well question. I don't remember the name if you did say that, but see, I am sure that you would actually get a job if you have already have OPT. I am not sure what you did in your OPT. Did you do work? Do you have experience, or what your background is? But if you had a job, you are even more likely to get a job very fast. We are doing many applications. 6 months is a very long time for you to get a job, and for us to help you get that job. So 6 months is more than sufficient time. If you don't end up getting the job within 6 months of required time, you can always contact our career advisor, and after that we will help you and guide you what's your next step. But your next step would never be going back to your home country. We always make sure to advise our students and our candidates in the best possible way, but we also make sure that those students are actually staying in the US legally, obviously. And how we can do that, you have career coach for that. So I hope that answers your question.
Perfect. Thank you for taking that, Pratchett. Okay, there is another question that's come in. I think this question is for you, Michelle. The question is, I understand that there's a live project. What will this look like on my resume?
Actually, I can let Archit take that, right?
Sure. Yeah, I'll take that question.
Perfect.
Yeah, so basically, like in the live project, we are gonna be working for a project for a Fortune 500 company, and that company it's in the business of like booking for festivals, corporate events, private functions, etc. Okay, so basically, that company is tasked with developing key statistics in sales and like providing analytical insights to make informed business decisions. So what we'll be doing is like we'll be using tools like Microsoft Azure, SQL, Python, related libraries like sklearn, NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn. We'll also be using Power BI or Tableau for creating visualizations, making dashboards, and we'll be working on assessing the company's revenue, expenses, profitability, these kind of metrics. So all this work, like, you can include in your resume, because this will be like a real-time simulation of the project that you would do in a company. And yeah, of course, like, Michelle would help you add that onto your resume and like help you present that in the best possible manner. But yeah, these are the tools, and this is what you are basically going to work on in the project. Yeah, I hope
Right.
that answers the question. Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
thank you, Arch, for kind of breaking that down. And so
Mhm.
because you are going to have your GitHub and it's going to be an active link, that's
Mhm.
going to be included on your resume. So you'll have a deployed link, which the employers want to see. You'll have your project name. You can add, as Archit was so kind enough to explain, you'll have some of the tools, libraries, and languages listed out, and you're going to have a brief description underneath that, which is usually what the employers are going to want to see. And so once you are enrolled in the program, working with me, I'll show you the correct format of how it's on, but Enver is very kind enough of Archit just to give you a more detailed, but it's really about having that deployed link, and your working GitHub is what the employers want.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking that question. We do have another question which has come in, and this is around, the 100 job applications a day. So the question is, when will the job applications begin? I'll be happy to take that. So basically what happens is, once a student joins on the bootcamp, and this is on the fast track program, we understand that, students who are enrolled in the fast track program are those who do not have a lot of time. Probably they do not have a lot of time with their OPT or any extensions, right? And what we do is, once you've joined on the program, you'll have to go through the foundational technical training, and the career coaching begins from day one. And at any point, if you really require, the job application to start on an urgent basis, you can always let us know about it. There'll be mock interviews that you'll have to go through. And if you pass the mock interviews, this would be a technical mock interview, it would be a behavioral mock interview. And once you pass that with the team, and we know that you're market ready, we can begin your job applications at any point. It will continue for 4 months. So it's very similar on both the programs. It'll continue for 4 months. If it is even on the the full course, which is 8 months long, typically the job application begins from the 4th month onwards, all the way till the end of the 8th month. So I hope that kind of answers your question there. Okay, the next question that I have here is, I think maybe Archit, you'll have to take this. How many hours do I need to put in for the technical live project?
Yeah, so it would be somewhere around like 15 to 20 hours. Of course, like, that depends on your capabilities also, like, coming into the program, like if you could do the work in 10 hours, or maybe you would require 30 hours. But on an average, I would suggest like you should at least devote 15 to 20 hours.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, there are a lot of other questions that's coming in. Just give me a second. I want to join the boot camp, but I don't want to pay anything before 8 months. Like, I don't want to take any loan also to cover the cost of the boot camp. Is it possible to join in this case? Prashit, maybe you can take that.
Sure. I think that same person has asked one more question, that if we take H1B candidates, those who have experience. I'm not sure if they are same people or are different people.
Yeah, because it
But
just shows as anonymous to us. Unfortunately, there's no name. So yeah, we're not sure who you are. But then, yeah, I think Prashit
yeah,
will give an answer.
we are supporting all immigrants. So yeah, H1 is fine. The question that you told me to ask is, I don't want to pay anything before 8 months. Like, I don't want to take any loan also to cover the cost of this bootcamp. Is it possible to join in that case? It depends. Okay. The minimum that you would have to pay is $500. That comes with money back guarantee, right? And I'm sure $500 is very affordable. That we have kept it affordable, the minimum, but it's the requirement on our side. That's the minimum. We can be flexible if you actually are really keen to join. the bootcamp, but this is what we are something looking for. And if you don't want to take any kind of loan, we also offer installment plans. You can always reach out to our advisor team. We have several installment plans, and installment plans we also customize. So you can, it's the best deal. I mean, the best would be to contact your admissions advisor and ask them how can you enroll without taking a loan and actually installments plan. I hope that answers question.
Perfect. I think that should answer. We still have few more questions that's come in. Archit, maybe you can take this one. The question is, thank you for talking about the technical topics that the project is based off of. Can you please talk about the projects in machine learning perspective, like creating forecasting regression models and deploying these models at scale? That's basically what the question is.
Definitely. Yeah, so that is why we are using Microsoft Azure, because using that we'll be able to deploy these models at scale. And you're right, like from a machine learning perspective, we'll be using sklearn and other kind of machine learning libraries based on the models that you'll be employing. So yeah, you'll be working on different models, kind of comparing them, which one fits best for your use case, and then you'll be proceeding with that. So when we talk about like forecasting for revenue, sales, of course this machine learning comes into picture, and it's that is why it's a DAML course. It's data analytics plus machine learning combined. So yeah, I think that answers the question.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that, Ajay. I know we're all on time. We don't have a lot of time on the webinar right now. Maybe we'll just take this one last question. The question is, after completing the bootcamp training, would I get a physical certificate? And if I do get it, how do I verify the certificate? So that's basically what the question is.
Okay. Yes, you can get a physical certificate. We usually offer an online certificate. Not just that, you will also get your GPA score, your mark sheet. So if in future you want to transfer credits, that can be used just in general. I know you have graduated, it won't be required. Just in case, it's good to have. You will get a physical copy if you have requested. You can always also go on the Ohio State Board of Career Colleges and Schools. The website is also listed in our website of ElevateMe.pro. You can go there at the state board. You can request your not mark sheet. You can request mark sheet also, but your certification through that state board, and they would be happy to provide that. So I'm sure that is legit. If government is giving you the same certificate that we get, that I'm sure it's legit.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for handling all of this. We still have a lot more questions pouring in. Unfortunately, we'll not be able to take it up right now. What I would request all of you to do is, for any further information about the bootcamp, what we offer, your visa status, anything that we can help with, please directly contact us. Our number is 614-965-8005. I'll just repeat that again. It's 614-965-8005. Or you can email us at info@elevateme.pro. That is info@ElevateMe, ElevateMe.pro. So thanks a lot, Prachit. It was a pleasure having you on the webinar today. A lot of amazing information shared. Thank you so much, Michelle. I know Archit had to drop off early, unfortunately, but yeah, it was amazing having all of you on board, and wishing you all an amazing weekend ahead and a great day. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.